What's up guys, Filterless here. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the Anker 555 USB-C hub. This is a 10 gigabits per second on every USB and USB-C port, which means you can transfer data faster if you have a capable hard drive and capable computer. The cable is USB-C and the cable's pretty stiff on this and really short, so what I would recommend is an extension if you're going to be using this as a dock for, let's say, a laptop or some external monitors. And what I would recommend is this 3-foot U-green extension. They also have a 1-foot, it's USB-C to USB-C, so it just extends that hub, or if you have a dock, letting you reach further to your computer. And this is also a 10 gigabits per second extension cable, so it pairs extremely well to the Anker hub, and it also does 100 watts, so perfect fit. And to quickly go over the ports, on one side we have two USB-A ports that do 10 gigabits per second, like you can see right here. To the left of that, we have a micro SD card reader and a full-size SD card reader. Then here on the left, we have a little light that turns on when it's plugged in. And here you can see it's just a pretty basic white light, and it's not too bright, so at night it shouldn't be bothersome. However, you could always put tape over it if it's in your bedroom or something and you want it pitch black. Then flipping this over, you can see we have an Ethernet port. So if you're wanting to hook it up, that's one thing I like about this, is having that. I've used it quite a bit. Then we have our power delivery in port. This is only for power delivery, 100 watts. And while it accepts 100 watts input, it can only output 85. So some of that is used in the hub itself. And I don't think it's 15 watts that's being used. However, it is only around 85 watts that you're going to get out of it. Then we have a USB-C 10 gigabits port and our HDMI port, and this HDMI port does 4K at 60 hertz. This is really important. 30 is almost unbearable to use, so you want to make sure whatever hub you get one that does 60 hertz at 4K. So I went ahead and got another Anker hub that looks very close, but these are not the same, and the one on the top is 5 gigabits per second, and the one on the bottom is 10 gigabits per second. And the reason I brought this out is I want to show you all the actual speed tests between both of these. So here I brought out my Asus laptop, and we're using a Samsung. The drive's a little dirty, but we're using a Samsung T9, and this is a 10 gigabits per second drive, so it's perfectly paired with that faster hub that does 10 gigabits compared to the 5. So here we're just going to plug it in real quick to this 5 gigabits per second USB-C port. We'll go ahead and plug that into the laptop. The cables are looking a little bit crazy on the left, but it's not a big deal. We'll still be able to do this speed test. And so here I have a file that is 21 gigs, a little over 21 gigs in size. So that will give us a nice test as we're transferring this over. So let's go ahead and drag this over to the desktop. And you'll see it's going to start off pretty slowly. I'll fast forward here a little bit, and it is kind of blurry on the camera. It's having a problem picking it up. We can see this speed is climbing. It's going to keep climbing, but you'll see here in a second, right at about 340, 330, we just hit a hard cap. So this is actually the dock itself that is causing this limit on this Asus laptop. And it's very hard to actually even hit the advertised speeds. You'll usually get less here. So we should be able to get around 500, and we're only getting about 330. So let's go ahead and eject this drive. We're going to go ahead and hook up the faster 10 gigabits per second 555 hub. And we're also going to be using this 10 gigabits per second USB-C port on it. So we'll go ahead and plug that in. And here you can see we have that same file right at 21 gigs. We're going to go ahead and copy that over. Once again, you can see the speeds start out pretty slowly. We're only at 100, but you can see it's going to start climbing pretty quickly. There we are, 300. So we just surpassed the 330, and it went up to almost 700, and it's going to level off right at about 630-ish, kind of jumping up to 650. That is about double the speed and is way faster to transfer this file. Now, this is so fast, it probably doesn't matter too much, but if you're trying to do editing off of a drive, that's why I use these. I originally bought the 5 gigabits, realized I needed the extra speed, and that's why I definitely prefer the 10 gigabits for the drives I'm using and the computers I'm using and the use case. So let's go ahead and actually bring up Amazon, and I will show you all this hub, and I'll have a link to this down in the description. One thing I wanted to show y'all though is you can see this 553 hub under here. There's a lot of numbers that follow, and a lot of them can look very similar, but let's go ahead and open up this 553 hub right here. And then when we scroll down to the description, if we take a close look right here, you can see these are 5 gigabits per second ports. So if you're looking for max speed, this is definitely not going to be the hub that you want. I don't know why they hide these details deep in the descriptions of a lot of these. As you can see on this one, they're advertising 10 gigabits per second up in the title itself. And then right here in the bullet points, you can see they're advertising it again. They are showing that those USB-A data ports are 10 gigabits per second. And then right under that, they're also showing that USB-C does 10 gigabits per second. And Anker usually runs sales on this, so I would maybe wait for it to go on sale, then pay $49, wait for it to hit $39, maybe even a really good sale at like $34.99. But I have 2 of these fast hubs and 2 of the slower hubs. I use the fast ones personally. It's my favorite hubs so far. I've had many of them. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. If you did, consider hitting the like and sub, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.